What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mr. C's Corner. It is Thursday, May 14th, Throwback Thursday. Today we're throwing it back to my high school days, where Lil Wayne seemed to release a new mixtape every single week. It was great. We would burn the mixtape on a CD, and that's what me and my friends would listen to for the week. So since it's Thursday, we're going to continue with our lesson from Tuesday, where we discuss what public goods and services are and how the government decides whether a good or service should be publicly funded, right? So today's episode will begin with your bell ringer from Tuesday. If you don't remember what it is, I'll restate it. How does the government receive funding to support public goods and services? While you're thinking about that, I'm going to give you the main idea for this video. The main idea is one of the main roles of the government is to provide goods and services. They are provided using, hopefully you had enough time to think about your bell ringer. These goods and services are provided or funded using taxpayer money through individuals and businesses and organizations. Now, I'm not going to go and discuss the entire tax system in today's episode. No, I didn't do that. I'm not breaking down the entire tax system. I'm not going to talk about a tax discussion. I'm just talking about public goods and services. So with that in mind, though, your EQ for today's lesson is how does the allocation of taxes affect public goods and services? Allocation of taxes or distribution of taxpayer money affect public goods and services? We're talking about that because the government pays for social welfare and other programs with revenue they receive. This revenue that they receive, you don't know what revenue is, it is, I'll give you a textbook definition, it is the income that government gets from all sources, or taxes from individuals and taxes from businesses and organizations, right? Taxes collected from me and you, your parents, your guardians, your other teachers, etc., those people, and also the taxes they collect from businesses such as Amazon, Walmart, the Coca-Cola Company, Microsoft, Facebook, Apple, McDonald's, whatever. Those kind of companies, that's where taxes are also collected from. So the government does buy goods and services from these private companies, though. With privatization, the government uses and pays for the goods and services of private companies. If you don't know what privatization is, when a business offers a public good or service. So, for example, Lockheed Martin. If you don't know Lockheed Martin, look them up. Ticker symbol is LMT. Anyway, they produce military goods and services. Very innovative company in defense. Anyway, the Department of Defense for the U.S., they buy directly from Lockheed Martin, even though Lockheed Martin is not a government entity. Does that make sense? Boeing's the same kind of way. But anyway, so your first question is, you're going to have to do a little bit of research, not a lot, just a little bit. What's another business that the government buys from that offers a public good or service? Make sure that you're putting that on Schoology. That's your first question. All right, so people's well-being is a concern for the government, and the government does have programs that help people in need, such as unemployment, Social Security, and veterans benefits, right? The federal government also has over 3 million people working for it, while the state and local governments also employ millions of people. So the government makes sure that the public is healthy and safe and okay during unprecedented times through unemployment, Social Security, and veteran benefits that they have. But they also employ a lot of people. The federal government, like I said, 3 million people, and state and local governments also have people working for them. Big deal, right? I'm a state employee, right? As a teacher, public school teacher, all that stuff. Technically, funding for that public school is provided by taxpayer money, and that is where my salary comes from, is from there. So just a brief little example. So last week we discussed how the government regulates business. They also support businesses through subsidies. I'll give you the textbook definition of a subsidy. Subsidy is a monetary grant given to producers or consumers to encourage certain behaviors, like innovation, or like alternative energy. So they provide these grants to make sure that we're trying to better a certain kind of situation. Like energy is a big hot topic. So if you're looking to, if you're a business and you're looking to recreate or re-innovate the way that you are producing or using your energy, the government could give you a subsidy. So these subsidies are given to firms that are considered to benefit the public, right? So if I'm a big company and I'm trying to restructure my use of energy, the government could then give them a grant because they are looking out for the public safety and health of everyone. So, second question is, conduct research and list and describe one government subsidy in 2 to 3 sentences. So I'm just asking for one government subsidy and just describe it in 2 to 3 sentences. All right, put that on Schoology. So, Mr. C, we've discussed how the government pays for good public goods and services and how they support businesses through subsidies. How are they paying for all this? There's a lot of money, right? So it's kind of a quote from Benjamin Franklin, founding father. Shout out Ben Franklin. The only thing guaranteed in life are death and taxes, right? So, kind of cruel, whatever, but it's true, right? I mean, Benjamin Franklin said it best. He said it way back in the day. I figured that'd be a good quote to use today on a Throwback Thursday. But the only thing that is given in life is death and taxes. Income tax and sales tax revenues help pay for public goods and services, and provides money for government programs. So income tax and sales tax. So money that I'm bringing in for my job, I get taxed on, and I also get taxed on the certain goods and services that I buy from the store. And if you don't know what tax is, which was the answer to your bell ringer on Tuesday, so if you're watching this video prior to answering the questions on Schoology for Tuesday, that's your answer. Anyway, if you don't know what taxes are, I'll give you the textbook definition, is an amount of money businesses and people pay governments to help run the nation, state, county, city, or town. So income I described, and I described, sales tax. Government, businesses and organizations also get taxed in certain different kind of ways, but I'm not going to dive into that with this episode, running out of time. So how does the government decide to allocate its resources, or allocate its money, or allocate its taxpayers' money? It decides the best way to spend the revenue based on public wants and public needs. If it's seeing that people really need, a library, then they will then start allocating or saving or distributing that taxpayer money to publicly fund that library. Does that make sense? But I also did discuss public wants and needs and private wants and needs in a separate video. Go check it out. Anyway, so that's today's lesson. Hopefully we'll learn something about the government. They are a provider in a good way to help its public or its people. And yeah, that's today's episode. Make sure you check the bell ringer in the About section. Put all your responses on Schoology, and let's wrap this week up on a good note tomorrow with Hype Up Friday. See you tomorrow.